So a lot has changed since the last time I recorded a video. You're gonna hear my kids in the background, but a lot has changed since the last time I recorded a video and posted it. I've been really depressed, really down. I'm not even sure what my last video was. I remember I was like starting my journey of like trying to live a healthier life and being happy. Hence the name Finding Joy with Toy. But about a year ago, February 24th of 2023, my ex passed away. And I didn't know it until like 2 months later. Me and him, we had a very toxic but loving relationship, if that even makes sense. But when we first started dating, we were young. I think I was like 20, turning 20. Yeah, I was like 20 when we met. And like we knew each other before, but not really knew each other. But like I had friends that were friends with his friends, or like we had a friend that were dating. Then it turned out that my best friend was his cousin, and I had no idea. So like we just had all these like our lives were just completely like intertwined, and so we had been off and on for like 12 years, and we had broken up in August before he passed, and I had blocked him, and I was like, fuck him, but we do that all the time. I block him, and then one of us will email the other one. That's just how we work. All of a sudden, one of us will email the other one and be like, hey, how you doing? And then we just pick back up like nothing has changed. And we apologize, we work through everything, and then we're good for a while. And so the last time we had broken up, I thought that he knew that I owned my house, which just might sound weird to you, but he didn't. And so when we were talking in conversation, I was like, oh yeah, because he was living in Vegas. I live near Houston, but not in Houston. And this is where we grew up at. And he was wanting to move back, but not where we live. He was like, oh, let's move to Houston. And I was like, okay, what part of Houston? And he was like, well, where do you want to go? And I was like, Katy. Katy has very good schools for kids with autism, and y'all know, or y'all may not know, because I'm not even sure what I've told you guys. My daughter has autism. She's on the spectrum, and she's nonverbal. And so I was like, Katy would be a good place for us. And I was like, well, I guess I would have to either like sell my house or rent it out. And he was like, oh, you actually own your house? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, what do you need me for? And that was the downslope of our relationship again. Like things like that always happen because he always feels like I'm doing better than him. And instead of seeing it as an asset, he like beats himself up. And he feels like, well, shit, why are you with me? And I'm like, because I actually care about you and I love you as a person. You don't have to be doing better than me. And you shouldn't be worried about if I'm doing better than you. We could be a team. So that was a big argument that we got into. I felt like it was dumb. And I blocked him like an idiot. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting for him to email me. He never did. And I had called him. I called him. And it was like, the number you dialed is no longer in service. And I was like, oh, he changed his number on me, you know. I was like, forget him. And then I emailed him and I was like, hey, I just wanted to check on you. Like, I hope everything is okay. I didn't hear from him. And it just kept nagging at me, and nagging at me. And I don't like put our families in the middle of things, but I text his sister. And I was like, hey, I just wanted to check on Dominique because I haven't heard from him in a while. We got into a pretty big argument the last time that we talked, and I just want to make sure that he okay because like I haven't heard from him. And she was like, no, he's not okay. He passed away, and we didn't really tell anybody. Like we didn't do like a big thing. We didn't have like a big funeral or anything like that. We just like cremated him and put him in our necklaces and stuff. Oh no, she didn't tell me that right off the bat, but she was just like, yeah, we didn't really announce it or anything. And she was like, his mom posted about it, and I had deleted his mama, like, cause I was like, I was like, this time we break up, I am done. I don't want to see no pictures posted of you, nothing. And so I had deleted his mama on Facebook. So I was like, oh, and I was talking to her, and I was um, like, where is he buried? I want to go put flowers on his grave, and she was like, we cremated him, and we had him put in necklaces for his sisters and his mom. And then I was like, dang, I can't even properly grieve. And at that time, I was working as a mental health caseworker, and I was at a school. I was at a high school, waiting to meet my two new clients, and I just broke down, and I was just like crying in the middle of the library of this high school, and it was like filled with kids, and I was just like, oh my god. And I had to text the kid's mom and be like, hey, I know I was supposed to meet your sons today, but I had a death in the family and I gotta go. And like, once I made it to my car, I was hyperventilating. I just felt like I was dying on the inside because we had a lot of problems and stuff. And we both dated in between our splits. At one point, we didn't talk for 8 years. And yeah, like this is somebody that I thought one day would be my husband or whatever. So it was really rough. And yeah, I was working on my self-love journey. I was trying to be a better parent. Um, I was in school at the time, working on my MBA in accounting. And everything just kind of went down. Everything went down. Uh, I just had to take a break, period. Like, I don't even have social media on my phone anymore because I just needed a break because I ended up messaging his mom to give her my condolences, and then I added her back on Facebook, and like every day she was just posting pictures of him and videos and stuff. And I was mad at myself because every photo that we have, I deleted them, and I deleted every photo that me and him ever took together because I was so mad at him. And I'm like, dang, now this person's dead. I'll never be able to talk to them again. I'll never be able to, see them again, hug them again. But I am grateful that like 3 months before we had that big blow up, we got to see each other in person. And then the big blow up was about him coming to visit me. He was on his, like, he's supposed to be coming to visit me. And we were arguing because he didn't understand my lifestyle as a parent. He didn't have kids. And I was like, I need to know the exact dates that you're coming because I have to get childcare. You need to communicate better. And then it like that also spiraled into it. And then the whole thing of him not feeling like he was good enough for me. It was just a big mess. And so yeah. So since then, in December, I did end up graduating with my MBA in accounting. I finished it in a year because with everything going on, I just poured myself into school. I didn't want to think about anything. I didn't want to feel anything. I just focused on school. I took a year off from dating, I think. Yeah. Like I haven't been dating. I finally was like trying to date and talk to somebody, and that lasted for 2 weeks. And I realized that the only reason why I liked them was because they reminded me of him. Like, he was very smart. We both pushed each other when it came to education. Like, I have 2 degrees and like a million certifications. He had 3 degrees and a million certifications. Like, we were constantly like competing with each other. But like, I thought that it was healthy. I didn't know it was like a true, like, I gotta be better than her type thing. But like, we always push each other to get our educations. We were always like on the same page as far as like, we started off in the mental health field, and he was a nurse, and then he was transitioning into business, and now I'm doing my premium auditing thing. Like, we were always like kind of on the same page in life, period. And I felt like I had found my person. And so now to have to start over and be like, I have to date seriously with other people eventually. Like, I always had him as a backup plan in my mind. Like, I was dating other people and stuff, but I always in the back of my mind was like, that's my husband. That's who I'm going to go back to. So, what's the point of wasting my time with anybody? So, this is going to be, today is August the 7th. And this, starting tomorrow, I'm working on my self-love journey again, for real. So this is Finding Joy with Toy. I have my little weekly plan that I created on with ChatGPT. That's making my schedule for the week, for me to start waking up at 5:30, do a little stretching, walk my dog. And why is this camera doing this? Oh my God. I got the motion camera, but I guess the paper kind of threw it off or whatever. So I plan on getting up every morning, do a little stretching, and walk the dog early in the morning. And then 6 a.m. making breakfast and prepping lunch for the kids for the school, and dropping them off for like, leaving here at 6:45 to drop them off for 7 and 7:30. And then I also got my super notes. And on my super note, I made some spreadsheets also to, let's see. So I have my family meal plan. And so it has meals for me and the kids. So like, we have breakfast, one meal for me, a different meal for the kids for their breakfast. For all three of us, there are we each have our own options for lunch because we all eat different things. And then family dinner. And then when I flip to this page, this shows the recipes for the week. And then here is the grocery list. Very small. Very good, because y'all know groceries is hot in a motherfucker right now. And then on this page is my Sunday meal prep. So the things that I should be preparing on Sunday. Of course, I'm not going to cook everything, because, you know, food should only stay good in the fridge for like 4 days at most. And then I also created a folder for self-improvement. I have things in it like ADHD, executive functioning skills that I'm working on. But one of the main things that I got was a dating pattern self-checklist, because I noticed I have an anxious attachment style when it comes to dating. And like I said, with this last dude that I was dating, I think I looked past a lot of his flaws just because he reminded me of Dominique. The dude was smart. When I was talking to him, he was taking a leadership course. He had ADHD.
When can we have donuts again?
Let's do Saturday morning. We might do tomorrow morning. We'll see. I'll let you know. But let me finish recording this video. But yeah, so I'm starting on my journey. Yesterday, I was working on this journal that ChatGPT told me about. It's a self-love workbook. I know that I definitely need to start working on self-love. One of my best friends told me that, girl, you don't love yourself. And I was like, bitch, what you know? But she was right. She was right. I have to work on setting boundaries. I'm also trying to heal from having a narcissistic parent, or let's say I will say maybe I won't label them as narcissistic, but emotionally unavailable. Being raised by an emotionally unavailable parent. So I'm also working on that. I'm also reading more. I also plan to learn more about just learn more about myself. I picked up this book called The Four Agreements. I'm reading on that. And then also getting back into my romanticy books that I love. I love reading books like accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. Like, so. And reading stories that are like Wattpad or whatever. So, this is it for today. Um, Tomorrow I'm gonna get up early and walk the dog and do some work because I've also fallen behind in work. Tonight, me and the kids, we took the dog for a walk down the street, and that was nice to go on a walk as a family because that was something that Dominique had always told me to do. Was like, hey, you and the kids, like every Saturday, maybe y'all could go for a little family walk, and I want to do that. And then I've been paying, y'all don't judge me. I've been paying for this Planet Fitness membership for 2 years. It haven't been in a year, so I'm gonna do better. But yeah, so starting tomorrow, gonna wake up early, take the dog for a walk around the block, um, and then the kids start school on Wednesday. So once they start school, I'm gonna start going to the park around the corner and going for a walk, and then trying to get back into going to Planet Fitness because I just keep hearing that thing in my head from RuPaul Drag Race talking about some uh how in the hell you gonna love somebody else if you don't love yourself or whatever she be saying. What is that? Now I gotta go look that up. But yeah, so I am done. Peace out. And this is Finding Joy with Toy again.